Hey guys, welcome back to the AddMeGamers channel. This is Dan continuing my StarCraft 2 commentary, and on this game we're going to be continuing our third game between Puzzle and Sojo. So on the top right of Antigua Shipyard we do have Sojo as the yellow Zerg player, and on the bottom left we do have Puzzle as the red Protoss player, the yellow Zerg player, and the red Protoss player on the bottom left as Puzzle. If you guys watched game one was pretty interesting. Actually, one of the very rare strategies that we do see. Sojo did counteract with that wormhole, so it was pretty nice so far. He did manage to get there and counteract Puzzle with a very nice play, even though after Puzzle decided to make an initial sort of harass with an actual photon cannon, including some pylons. And the second game, of course, did come down to Puzzle as well. Puzzle did manage to drone up pretty quickly in the first game, and he did try to counteract that second attack by Sojo, but failed to come. So both cases I would really recommend you watch at least the first game between these two players. The first game was a very interesting play between Sojo and Puzzle. It was a completely different tactic that we usually see in the StarCraft 2 games. So anyways, back to the gameplay. It's so far the usual. We do have, of course, those scouts and drones coming up. A little interesting play here by Puzzle. He did move down the Forge fast expand, so he's going to go down Forge with his Nexus and probably block it off, most probably with a gateway and another pylon as well, the ramp itself. So otherwise Sojo is going for that spawning pool first, followed by that hatchery. I presume already the hatchery is up, so he just did place that hatchery down there, and yes, he did. And we do have Puzzle probably going for that harass. It's really interesting to see what exactly he's going to be doing with that pylon. Probably throwing down a cannon, so let's see if he's going to go with that cannon though. He did use that in the last game. Yes, he is going to go down with two cannons actually, so he did cancel that second cannon, so that first cannon's coming down. Of course, he is pulling down a lot of those drones. Second photon cannon coming down, and third photon cannon coming down. Really, Puzzle going for these photon cannons. He's going to place down a fourth. That'll be really interesting to see. It would be actually more interesting if he'd actually go for the actual pylon to power it down instead of wasting his time to get these cannons up and running. He's going to cancel that as well. So he has two Zerglings, of course, to prevent this from being built. He canceled the fourth one and the fifth one, so he did manage to do a lot of downtime, but unfortunately Puzzle did consume a lot of his resources in getting this up and down, so he did try to get that up and place it down, and another photon cannon up. So he is really keeping Sojo on his tiptoes, so on his toes. So Sojo really has to keep an eye out in terms of what he's doing there. As you can see, Sojo deciding to screw that. He's going to counteract with a small little harass of his own to try to push and force Puzzle to retreat to his own base. We do have, of course, that gateway as expected with that photon cannon as well, with that pylon. So here comes that push. I do believe he is going to counteract to force Puzzle to concentrate on his own base to prevent this continuous harass coming. So this pylon should hopefully drop, and that should be the end of that. And is he going to move down to the main production line? Yes, he is. So here comes as much damage as possible. Of course, probes being pulled off the line and being retreated back to the line. Again, some are being pulled off, and actually the probes are being moved in to actually attack the Zerglings. But he should be able to drop a few, though. The one probe drops, and is he going to be able to drop a few? Another probe drops, a third probe drops, and is he going to get at least one more? Fourth probe drops. Let's just take a look at the unit count, because that'll give us a better idea. Units killed, we do have 7 to 8, so pretty equaled out for both the players so far. So it is sort of a little equaled out, initial harass, but I do believe resources wise that we do have, of course, Puzzle on the losing end. He did lose a lot of resources just trying to get to this initial harass up. That was very nicely countered by Sojo. So that was so far in terms of the gameplay. I do believe Sojo is a little bit ahead in terms of resources, as he does have just that little bit additional economy going for him. So here come two more Zerglings. Again, he's going to go with that pylon and probably that photon cannon as well. He really is persistent on making this work for him. I do believe that might be Puzzle's downside in this game as well. I don't really see that being to his advantage currently. He is just trying to prevent as much expansion, easy expansion for Sojo altogether, though he doesn't still see this. Does he see this? I don't believe he sees this. No, he doesn't see that. He doesn't see that at all, actually, so he is in for a big surprise. He's waiting for that 150 crystals to get that cannon online. Will that Overlord scan it? Probably not. Here comes that cannon as expected. So he is gonna produce a pretty good amount of damage and probably take down a few more probes before he's actually forced to take a couple of Zerglings off the production line and move them down. Stalker coming on as well. We do have that warp gate research as well. 2 gateways. This is actually very deadly for Soju. Soju not having a clue that he is here. He's going to pretty much hamper his 3rd hatchery from being produced. We do have, of course, the weapons 1 and 4 more Zerglings. Here it comes. It finally pops, and those photon cannons are going to start. And here come those drones. Those drones obviously not being able to surround those cannons like he did previously. So this is really to his disadvantage. And I do believe that Queen might be able to reach that photon cannon. But let's see if it is possible. No, we do have 2. That Queen's going to drop very quickly. Of course, we do have, of course, that Stalker as well coming in. So this 3rd hatchery is pretty much a goner. I don't know why he cancelled that 3rd photon cannon. I do presume he tried to harvest as much minerals as possible. He realizes that 3rd hatchery is practically his, and there's nothing really much he can do. It's got to be very frustrating for Soju to deal with this. This is going to drop, so this is it for the 3rd hatchery, and that Stalker's going to drop as well. Very nice round by the Zerglings, and here they come. They are moving forward, and these Broodlings are going to die as well. So a very nice build by Puzzle, and Puzzle is finally going in on the offensive. We do have 4 gateways coming online for his secondary, and we do have the 5th one here. So it's a 5 gateway push by Puzzle, and Puzzle is going to be very aggressive now. He does need to be aggressive to be able to sort of catch up to the resources lost, but I do believe he did sort of equal it out. Yes, he did nearly equal it out with the actual resources lost in terms of the actual hatchery dropping. So we do have an Overseer coming on, and so far that's pretty much it. Of course, roaches as well. 4 roaches coming for. We do have that micro hatchery for Soju as well. So here come those roaches. Finally, roaches coming into play. So he is also getting ready to maybe push out just a little bit and do a little bit of damage. Probably take down these photon cannons. It still is to be told if he's actually going to go down for this photon cannon. If he is, then he's really set on going for that 3rd hatchery, and he's going to lose those resources and units to try to put it down. But all he has to do is just take down this pylon to power down those cannons. So the question will be told if Soju is going to go for that pylon first instead of going for those cannons, because in the previous game he just went for those actual cannons instead of going for the pylon. We do have, of course, that Spire, so Mutalisks in play, and we do have 2 more Spine Crawlers online. Here comes the attack. I don't know why he's going for those cannons, why he doesn't target the actual pylon itself. This is I'm a little bit confused in terms of strategy by doing this. I do believe that pylon would have dropped substantially quicker and powered down both the cannons. Again, a little bit of mismicro or misorganization by Soju. I don't know what he was thinking there. He did take a little bit of extra damage and maybe lost a unit or 2 for really no reason. And finally, Puzzle is going to be aggressive. And here we do have that push coming in. We do have that pylon up here allowing those warpins, and this is going to pretty much drop. So if he does build that 3rd base, and he should pretty much spot this, of course, with his Overlord. So another 4 pylon being placed down. Here comes the push, and of course Soju knows that this is coming, so he's going to be preparing for this push. As you see, he does have 2 spine crawlers, 3 spine crawlers, and 5 a very heavy spine crawler. And I'm not sure if he's going to actually have enough time to complete this actual build. He really needs to push them out just to be able to complete the spine crawlers. He really needs this to come online as quickly as possible, and the spine crawlers really need to switch on, because those force fields are going to come down. Very nice split by those force fields, and of course the Zerglings are pretty much going to be taken out by this very nice Protoss ball. They're going to be moving forward, and they should pretty much drop the rest of the actual roaches behind the force field, which can't really reach those Stalkers. Stalkers on the advantage here, of course, being able to target fire those spine crawlers and those roaches that really can't do much. And of course Puzzle decides to retreat. Again, this is so far on Puzzle's side. Puzzle is going to be really to the advantage here. We do have that 1 Mutalisk in play, and that Mutalisk is not going to be doing much. It's going to be moving forward down to the actual base itself. So do we have a little bit of harass coming in? Well, yes, we do. We do have, of course, those Mutalisks moving down, of course, forcing Puzzle to retreat with the actual base itself. Will he be able to take this out before the actual units do arrive from Puzzle's side? This is really key. He really needs to take out as much as possible. I'd really target fire those warp gates, as the pylons will be really easily rebuilt, but those warp gates will not, and will take more resources, but they are nearly there. So this is pretty much it for that harass. And he is going for those pylons, of course, to reduce that supply line and prevent him from building out those units as much as possible. So a very nice counter-attack by Soju with those Mutalisks. And as you see, he really can't do much except rebuild those pylons again and power it up. Maybe get a couple of photon cannons as well, and he's going to be forced to leave a couple of stalkers at his base. So far nothing really much Puzzle can do, just hold out. And finally here comes the push by SoJu. He should finally counterattack. We do have that blink research coming online for those stalkers, so that should give him a little bit of strategic advantage. We do have level 2 as well weapons, and so far let's take a look at the upgrades. And SoJu is really going with 0 upgrades. He's not going with any upgrades at all, and this is not looking very good for SoJu in a way, because this push is really going to be countered with 1 and Protoss armor 1 and 1, and we should have those weapons as well coming online, weapons 2. So this is pretty much going to drop these Mutalisks and these Zergs very quickly though, but let's see what's going to happen. It really also depends on how the actual units are going to be moving, and these should pretty much be spotted, and they will be taken out by these sentries. Sentries should be moving forward, forcing the Mutalisks to retreat. So far nothing really happening. He is of course getting the level 1's attack for the air, and he's really concentrating on the air. Those blink stalkers are going to be blinked down of course, and he's going to be actually trying to prod and push. He doesn't even know that this is here yet, so more reinforcements coming in. Of course bailing, he's going to be going for that bailing bust, so he's holding out to get those bailings in. He's going to be hopefully busting through. Let's see if this is even going to be available, because these sentries are going to place down those force fields and they're going to prevent this bust, and I do believe it's going to be a utter fail for SoJu, but let's see if it's actually going to go through. Let's see if it actually is going to go through. I don't believe this is going to go through. He is hopefully waiting for those bailings to go through, but I don't believe this is going to work at all for SoJu's strategy, but let's see if it's going to go. We do have more than enough sentries to place down a lot of force fields to prevent the bust going up the actual ramp itself. So let's see, is he going to be moving forward or not? Here he is. He's finally going to be moving forward, and we do have of course that changeling moving down towards the actual base itself. So here come those force fields. A lot of wasted force fields though is going to be preventing him from moving forward. And here come those force fields. Very nice barricade. Guardian shield of course comes up, and of course SoJu is going to be retreating. With that upgrade, it's going to be very deadly with that weapons level 2 upgrade. Really, he's going to be mawing through this. It's going to be ridiculous. And here come the bailings. More force fields should be placed down very quickly. Yes, there they come. And again, I do believe SoJu is going to drastically lose all his units, trying to sandwich them in. Unfortunately, he didn't make a very nice sandwich. Blink forward coming in from Puzzle. Puzzle moving forward, and should pretty much mop up the rest of the units. We do have, of course, that Observer as well, given that extra scouting, and we do have the Guardian Shield, and this pretty much is it for SoJu. SoJu should pretty much lose all these roaches. I don't believe he has enough to push out, and if we do have more energy by those actual sentries, he should place down a couple of more force fields, preventing his actual roaches from retreating, and again another blink. So he's pretty much picking off these roaches as it goes. We do have these prime crawlers moving forward, but they will not even be able to dig in. They should drop by the time they even dig in, but a couple of reinforcements by Zerglings, force fields preventing the actual surround by the Zerglings, blinking away with the stalkers to prevent those Zerglings to do any proper surround. So very nice kiting, very nice micro from Puzzle. Really Puzzle showing his really advanced micro skills here. So far very nice play, and this is pretty it for SoJu, and SoJu, as you see, calls it a good game. And this is it for game 3. So of course the tournament, the final matchup comes down to Puzzle winning with 2-1. So again, a very nice game, and SoJu really did manage to lose this, not being able to cope with the actual Protoss units, especially since he did have the weapons 2 and level 1 armor already online, and SoJu really not relying on any of those upgrades at all, so he was getting mown down very quickly. So this is it. As always, happy gaming, and see you guys in another StarCraft 2 commentary.